In this video I'm going to show you how to install one of these AC delete pulleys onto a W body car like a Grand Prix or Monte Carlo. Your air conditioning pulley is that one right down there, the furthest forward at the bottom. So that's the air conditioning compressor, and then you have your air conditioning lines going into that down there as well. So the reason you want to do this is a couple reasons. You could have a bad compressor, and rather than spend the money on the compressor to get that going, if you don't care if your AC works, I don't really care. I live in a climate where it never really gets over 100 degrees, so not really necessary for air conditioning. So that's the reason I'm doing it. It also helps with fuel economy because there's not as much resistance on this pulley, and it also helps with performance if you have a modified car as well. That's pretty much the main reason for it. So the easiest way to install it, once you get your car jacked up, you're going to remove the passenger side tire. You're just going to pop out these clips. There's one more up here as well, and then just remove this piece. Before installing this pulley, you have to discharge the air conditioning system of the Freon. So that red cap there's a Schrader valve under that. You need to take it to a shop to have them properly dispose of the Freon and just basically suck the system dry. So with that piece out of the way, it clearly exposes the pulley here, which will give us good access to get everything out. Next step you have to do is remove the serpentine belt. In order to do that, to get to the tensioner pulley here, I'm going to have to remove my coolant overflow jug. So I have a brace on my car here, two 13 mils on this side and on that side. We'll just take that off to allow me to get these 10 mils off here and pull out my coolant jug to give me access to the tensioner. I'm just going to undo this connector here. That'll give me room to move the overflow jug, just get it out of the way. You just obviously want to make sure that that's not going to leak on you. And then go ahead and relieve tension on your belt. And completely remove the belt. Okay, from there you go up underneath the car, and we're just going to have to remove this piece here. There's a bunch of 10 mil bolts, 5 of them in total. So we'll just pop these guys out, and then that'll give us access up under here to the compressor. Okay, so there's your air conditioning compressor. These are the lines we got to remove. So we're just going to take this bolt out right here in between the two lines, which I believe is going to be a 15 or, yeah, it looks like a 15. So we'll pop that out first, and then we can remove the lines. Okay, once you have that bolt out, you then need to undo these two here, which hold the compressor to the bracket. To get the one that holds the hoses out, it's easiest to come up through here between the oil pan and then the subframe, and you can pop that out. These ones are 15 mil as well, and you can get a ratchet on them through here as well. Once you get that off, you have a 15 mil here, one up here, and then one kind of up on the top as well to remove the compressor from the bracket holding it on. Okay, so to get the ones off at the top, it's pretty easy to get at them from up here to break them free, and then you can just loosen them off. The bottom one's actually easy from the top as well. You're also going to have a connector on here, which might have a safety lock on it, so I'm going to have to pull that compressor out, and then I'll deal with the connector. Okay, once you get that last one off, you can just slide the compressor out. And then just kind of rest it up on that subframe, then you can twist it and rotate it to get it out. Okay, so before removing it, if you go to the front of the car, you can just pull out the wiring harness connection. and then you can go and put the AC delete pulley on. So that's now in there. We'll just go ahead and replace these 3 nuts we took off and tighten it down. Okay, you can then reinstall your belt. Just make sure it's seated correctly and everything looks good. Go ahead, put your coolant jug back into place. And then redo this connection here. Once you get that done, you can then start the car and make sure everything is okay. So next, after you get the coolant jug reinstalled and secured down, secure this brace down if you have one. Tighten those guys down, and just verify that everything is alright with your belts if you haven't already. You're gonna then come up underneath the cart. That's the connector we pulled out, and then we just have to secure these lines. You can remove them as well if you want, and then remove that canister there, this guy here, but I'm just gonna leave these in, and I'll just cap these off here just so no debris gets up in there. So I decided to go ahead and remove those hoses. Just up under your air box there's one nut that you have to take off, and then right here another nut, and those hoses will just pop off. Or sorry, that's the one up under the air box. The other one is a nice easy one to get to, which is right up here. So just pop those off. The reason I did that is the front knock sensor on the engine's right here, and even if it is strapped down to this, I didn't want any false readings there. So that's the reason I decided to take it out, and it just cleans everything up as well. So next I'm just going to install that air deflector there. So you can go ahead and install the shield. Okay, once that's in, just reinstall the tire and you're set to go.